Hello, what is up everybody? Welcome to another replay analysis commentary, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if what I want to blah, 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 blah. I don't even know what I want to call it right now. But this time it's going to be Wings Gaming versus VG.J. There's going to be game 2 in the Dota 2 Ace Provisional. That's like some type of Chinese league. I don't know what it is, but it shows up on the watch tab. It's one of the most popular replays. I want to do some scouting on Wings to see their performance at Boston Major and how they're going to do. Right now, let's get right into the game. They ban up Axe as well as Ricky, same bans from last game. And VG.J will ban up Drow and Bounty Hunter, so all 4 bans so far have been the same, but this time Wings Gaming will pick themselves up Sand King, a hero that VG.J ran last game and relatively well, at least up into the mid game, but they were able to dominate the the early game with him using aggressive tri-lane, and then they kind of fell apart in the mid game with a couple of well-timed smoke ganks from Wings Gaming that really caught them off guard. But overall, Sand King, a very powerful hero, and is able to kite in and out of fights, and that's been the theme with the offlanes that are popular right now. Sand King, Axe, Slaughter, just heroes that can get the initiations off, make the big plays, one of the big plays, but make the plays happen, if that makes sense. So they're the ones who start first in the smoke, make the initiation happen, and then your team will follow up from that. They'll jump themselves in, and perfect for heroes such as Sand King, Slaughter, and Axe. You kind of get in, get out, and then come back in. Stuff like that, and those heroes just being popular right now in the meta. VG.J will pick up a Rubik as well as a Juggernaut. They do value this Rubik. They picked it up in the first phase as well in the last game, and just solid hero, especially against a Sand King first pick. Allows you to steal his Burrow Strike, which is extremely valuable. With the instant disable on that, Rubik can be quite a force to be reckoned with. So interestingly enough, Wings Gaming will pick up a Witch Doctor as the second pick. A hero that is not too popular, but is still one of the supports, the go-to supports right now in this patch. Provides decent sustain with his heal, as well as a lot of damage output if he does go for the Maledict build. And of course, his ultimate is something to be feared if he can get it off. Can do a ton of damage in a team fight, and you really gotta watch out for it. And of course, paralyzing cast always being annoying. Won't really affect Juggernaut too much because he does have that spin to avoid the stun compared to other melee heroes. But solid pickup so far from Wings Gaming. Just Witch Doctor being a solid support, not super amazing or anything right now, but of course just being consistent in what he does and providing decent amount of damage as well as healing and disable. So VG.J will ban out a Silencer, a hero that Wings Gaming ran in the last game, and very well too. The global silence has really paid off for them, as with each one they're able to pretty much get something done with it, if not really big team fights won because of it. They didn't really waste too many global silences in that last game, so they really played around it very well and was able to be pretty much a big part of their victory in the last game. Wings Gaming will ban out Timbersaw in the second banning phase. Overall, a hero that just can be very annoying to deal with, and if you're not prepared to deal with it, or you do not want to pick the hero specifically to deal with him, he can kind of just get away with murder and become the unkillable tree-cutting machine that you can't touch, and he'll just burst your entire team and get away with it too. So they just decide to get rid of him in the second phase. Right now, VG.J is deciding on their second ban in the second phase. Most likely, they're probably going to get rid of something that can follow up with the Sand King, maybe even the Lifestealer. Wings Gaming did run that extremely well with the interesting build from him, skipping the Echo Saber, going directly into the Desolator, into an AC as well as a Daedalus, allowing him to have incredible damage combined with the Slaughdar. But we'll see what they decide to ban here. Definitely something that is relatively mobile to go with the Sand King. Instead they will ban out the Dazzle, interestingly enough. Wings Gaming is also known to run drafts based off of baiting the enemy in, kind of enticing them a bit, making them think they won the fight, and coming up with those heroes that really save people like Dazzle and Oracle, turning around the fight and in their favor, and just wiping the enemy team sometimes off of that. Maybe like one good grave as well as one Oracle ultimates really turns everything around, and that's what they did as TI, and it looks like that's how they really want to continue to play. As relatively last game they played against VG.J, that was more based on of getting a good initiation off and completely bursting the enemy team in time. But the game I casted before that, where they played against Ehome Keen, they relied on that Oracle, as well as the Sand King, to kind of bait the enemy into bad engagements, and with the survivability and the maneuverability with the Sand King kind of being able to sneak in and out of fights, they're able to just rope the enemy around and kind of get a bunch of kills on them before they realize.
10 seconds to go.
When you play a game like Dota and you see a hero and you kind of
5 seconds.
see blood sometimes, and you just get in over your head sometimes, and Wings Gaming is really good at abusing that. They make you see the blood. They make you go after it's mostly Faith BN. If you watch their gameplay, Faith BN really just goes in there and tilts you. He just goes in there and makes you think that you can kill him, but then you can't, and then suddenly your entire team is dead because you just tried to kill Faith BN. And that's why Wings is so good. It's just how they play the game. Very fun to watch. They don't really draft static lineups. They kind of go for something different every game. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but it's Wings Dota. It's the reason why they're the TI winners. They'll decide to ban up the Dark Seer and pick up an OD for themselves, while Team VG.J pick up Jakiro, here that's been gaining in popularity in China as well as other regions as well. Teams realize that he's a very tanky hero, provides decent follow-up disable, or even if you can land it with the Ice Path, that can cut off the enemy escapes. But it's not really the best to start off with. It's kind of hard to hit Ice Path, just raw. But they do have the lift, so you can lift into Ice Path. It's a decent combination. But the reason why Jakiro is powerful is not necessarily Ice Path, but all the damage he provides in terms of damage over time, as well as tower damage, and the fact that he is extremely tanky with his base stats, and allows him to just tank up in fights and deal a ton of damage, and transition that into pushes as well. And follow up on the Jakiro, they will pick a Razor,
10 seconds to
a hero that can fare well against OD mid, not necessarily counter him, but definitely can go even with him. Well, OD is kind of favored in a lot of matchups, not so against Razor, as when he does imprison the Razor, he does get purged, kind of hurts him a bit. He gets slowed up, and Razor being able to drain his damage, as well as kind of having a bit of a range advantage on him as well. But overall, OD being a powerful hero does get picked up in the second phase here by Wings Gaming. Even some Chinese teams opting to ban it out the first phase, but Wings Gaming doesn't look like they will favor it so much in the first phase. It looks like they like to pick up a Faith Ban hero in the first phase, make sure that he get a hero that he can do a lot of work on, and of course they do pick up that Sand King for him. But right now they're kind of going with a weird pickup. Right here, it might be experimental. As I said, this Dota 2 Ace provisional lead is something that I'm not sure what it is. It's almost seems like some type of Chinese
Dyer's ban.
not amateur. I don't like to say amateur league, but it like goes on quite regularly. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's definitely not like some big crazy tournament or anything. It's kind of ongoing, and there's a lot of
10
games
seconds to
played.
go.
But they're definitely doing some experimentation with this treant. Can they pull a PPD in spirit of Peter Dagger and get this treant
Reserve
protector going and make this work out? Because I haven't seen this hero picked up a lot at all in this patch, in pubs as well as pro games. So we'll see.
10 seconds to go.
VG.J do ban up a Weaver in the last phase.
5 seconds.
A hero that notoriously is comboed up
Die
with
dead.
Treant, doing this dual offlane kind of gay combo where the Weaver just is able to have free harass on you, and if you go on him, he gets healed up by the Treant, and he kind of like, just like scoochies around, just super annoying to deal
10
with. So
seconds
you
to
just
go.
ban that out. Wouldn't be surprised for Wings to do something weird
5
like
seconds.
that, and just decide to get rid of it in case if that's what Wings was
Reserve
going
time.
for. Wings get rid of Batrider, relatively
Miranda.
good hero against Treant. His fire
Radiant's
just
pick.
really cuts through the nature living armor charges and stops it from healing. They do go for the last pick Mirana, so probably carry Mirana, I guess.
10 seconds to go.
Might be mid Mirana and safe lane Odie, because I know
5
Blink
seconds.
likes to play Mirana. They did play it at TI on him. I don't think they've ran safe lane Mirana
10 seconds
that
to
I know
go.
of. But it's up to VG.J to decide their last
5
pick, and
seconds.
it looks like they're going to get some offlaner. What is left in the
Don't
game?
show us.
Apparently it's Venomancer. So ROTK Venomancer. What a hero. This hero is actually gaining some traction. I don't know, RTZ has been spamming it in pubs. His 8k MMR Smurf, I don't know what's going on, but I am a Venomancer fan. The banana is a legend. The banana taunt, man, you just go to... Alright, you got to get the banana taunt on Venomancer. You walk to a lane, drop down a ward, or you right click them. They start taking some damage over time. You drop a banana, it makes like a freaking squeaking sound. They're tilted already. That's what you gotta do. But I'm not sure if ROTK will do that, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna be playing the
10
Mirana,
seconds to go.
or the Venomancer. I might have seen this in the match screen, but yep, it's ROTK Venomancer. And is he playing this mid?
Places, everyone.
Alright, he's playing it mid, it looks like, because they are pulling him, and he has to go for a Fairy Fire as well as a Wraith Band. I'd be surprised if he wasn't going mid with that build. And Juggernaut, Rubik, and Shakiro, as well as R2K, are heading up to the top lane, while Jay is just heading bot with his Razor. So potentially it looks like they're just sending the Razor to the safe lane alone, as well as going for another aggressive tri lane. It worked out for them in the last game, even though they didn't win it. They were able to win the early game quite handedly. An interesting ward by Sand King. I believe it's Faith BN. Yep, Faith BN does manage to place this ward
30
down,
seconds to
while
showtime.
the rest of the team postures
What's
up
with all
next
this
to their
scribbling?
Ancients area, while VG.J just make their way up to the top lane. Before they went for some aggressive play like this, but this time it doesn't look like they will do so. Instead, they will just put a ward here blocking this small camp. And looks like the runes will be traded. Doesn't look like any team is going to
And
contest.
they're off.
So, rune for Blink. Blink does go on the OD, and it will be a safe lane Mirana on Shadow. Well, not safe lane, but carry Mirana. And he will be heading to the off lane with his Witch Doctor, while Treant is looking to be jungling, huh? I guess that works. You can just jungle up. He does have the highest base damage in the game, and does break click like once every century. I guess it's not too bad of a jungler. I know Ink Dota does this shit where he jungles with Treant. and gets like a relatively fast Midas and Agdams or whatever. But if he can get away with it, why not? So VG.J will be going for an aggressive lane, but it looks like once they spotted that there's going to be a dual lane bots and just solo Sand King top. They're not going to have full 3 heroes here because there's only so much you can do to a Sand King with boots. And they're going to decide, going to have Rubik help out mid a bit. And for this matchup, I'm not sure how it actually goes. I'm pretty sure Phantomancer does okay here, especially with the help of Rubik. I believe they did go on Odie. He does not have lift level 1, so he might have just zapped him and they just kind of nuked him down a bit with the Venomous Gale as well as Poison Sting damage. Right now, Rubik will be heading his way to the bot lane and look like Fenrir mid-rotation as well, so they'll just leave Juggernaut to solo the Sand King up top. That's not very good. I wouldn't be surprised if Razor just TPs up there and they do a lane swap because Juggernaut does not fare too well against the Sand King. Of course, he does have spin to stop some of the Sand King's spells. He's just going to take a ton of damage to Caustic Finale. It is leveling it up level 2. Sand King will also be able to pull this camp right here, so if Juggernaut isn't able to get the last hits on this, and neutrals end up getting it, that'll hurt his experience. Yep, like right there. Shadow will be picking up a DD rune on the bots, and that could mean trouble for the side of VG.J as he's going to eat a cast, and if he hits this arrow right here, he will be dead. Yep, they do manage to get first blood in the bot lane with a nice DD rune pickup by Shadow, but Witch Doctor looks like he's in trouble as he's getting chased down by Razor. Razor does have boots, so it's unlikely he's going to go away. He does try to deny himself right there, but he will fall in the end to the Razor. It looks like Mirana did go aggressive on the Jakiro with his DD rune, but Razor will clean up, so Razor does pick up 2 kills for 2. They do get the first blood on the side of Wings, so slightly in favor of them, but 2 kills on Razor is no joke. He does pick up phase boost now, so this bot lane just got super hard for them all of a sudden. As if Witch Doctor gets out of position at all, he's not going to be able to stop this Razor from running him down. Especially once Razor gets a point in unstable current. Even if he just tries to stun the Razor, he'll just end up actually killing himself. It's going to slow himself even more, and Razor's going to be able to chase him down with the phase boots. So at the end of the day, even though the trade probably was in favor of Wings because they got the first blood, I would say that overall, VG.J got the better trade from that. Of course, Treant is still jungling. So as long as he does this relatively efficiently, they're going to have advantage because of that, because he's uncontested. And there's only so much Rubik as well as Jakiro can do to get out of the map, but Rubik is relatively high level because he does get one of the assists off of those kills on the bot. So he's level 3 and Jakiro is just level 2, but level 3 Rubik right now is pretty good considering he's been roaming a lot, and he does pick up boots as well as a windlace. And it looks like Shan got too low and had to walk back to base, and will pick himself up boots as well as raindrops and heal up the Sand King. So with the help of Treant in these lanes, he does actually have the most CS in the game right now, kind of tied with the Jug. So considered he's farming pretty well in the jungle. He's not too high of level. Like a hero like, for example, Venomancer in the jungle right now would be like close to level 6, but he does make a rotation towards mid for a gank, and they will manage to pick off the Witch Doctor. So VG.J does turn it around with the TP from the Razor with phase boots. As I said, with phase boots, Razor is quite scary. He's able to just chase them down. Witch Doctor gets caught out and he falls, and they don't manage to take out ROTK on the Venomancer, switching to the mid lane role. Unless I'm crazy and didn't play mid for other games, actually did not pay attention. Who was mid last game? Fuck. It was... I am drawing a blank. OD? So Storm Spirit versus Dragonite, and I don't think RTK was on your Dragonite. We can check. No, we cannot check because there's no match details. Alright, let's just say it wasn't him playing Dragonite, but if he was, I was not paying attention because I did actually not pay attention to any of these VG.J heroes' names because 2 of them are in Chinese, and then Fender I know, and HOIM I guess, and Nikki. Alright, I'm getting a little off track right here. Jakira will kill himself to neutrals right now. Feels bad, man. And Rubik will get stunned up right now. And it looks like they're making a play on the Witch Doctor. And Witch Doctor should fall again right here. Oh, nope. Shadow does hit a very nice arrow on Razor. And that might just have saved his teammate, Innocence. Yep, Innocence does survive because of that. And that was arrow from downtown all the way across the lane. And they just managed to hit it on the Razor and save his teammates. Nice play by Shadow there. And this is just what a Venom lane does. Doesn't in some lanes it dominates like TA, but overall it's just annoying. It's you never want to have a Venom in your lane, and I'm not sure if he does have the taunt or not, but imagine if he did the banana taunt right now. It's low health Venom, he's walking in your lane, dropping wards down, banana taunt, banana taunt, banana taunt, with the squeak sound. That would drive you crazy. So it looks like they did try to place a ward in the mid, but they do have a sentry on the side of Dire, and it does get cleaned up by the Treant. And the Treant looks like he's permanently rotated out of the jungle right now, just helping out the mid lane all he can. He just hit a heal up on that creep right there to heal up his teammates, as well as himself. He just place a deep ward down here, and they replace a ward here after this one got denied. But I believe it was spotted out on the side of the Dire, and they should get it. Just Treant walk here, and I'm not sure if they actually see it. Treant, or whatever. This ward will survive for a while, but it is in range of that sentry, so as soon as they catch vision of it, it should fall. He should have an Iron Talent, so they're able to clean that up quite safely. Looks like Sand King will rotate into the jungle now while they do a lane swap with Shadow and the Marana. It's just not very good for him to lane bots, even though he doesn't do too bad against Razor. They just want to be able to get more uncontested farm. Marana versus Razor can still be annoying, especially because he is level 7 as he has 3 kills. Those 2 kills right here and the 1 mid really giving him a big boost in experience. Juggernaut will TP to the top lane. I believe he was like in base healing or something, but right now they will go for a rotation with a smoke. Let's see where they go. It looks like they're headed towards mid, and with the lift up by Rubik into a Gale, OD could potentially be in trouble, especially if he uses Astro like this, and we'll see the lift. And we'll have a Gale from ROTK. They do not decide to commit Omni Slash in it, then he might survive with the Living Armor combined with the Moonlight Shadow from Marana. Odie is able to survive as they don't have dust or anything on them. Oh, they did have a sentry on the Rubik, but he just didn't put it down. Unless it just came on the courier. I think it just came on the courier. I believe they would have went for that for sure if they had the sentry. So it was just on the courier. They didn't have their vision in time, and he's managed to just walk away with the Moonlight Shadow, as well as Living Armor. Sand King will just continue to jungle up, and he does manage to pick up a very early Blink Dagger at 9 minutes. But even though they do not kill the OD in the mid lane, that's the power of Juggernaut, as well as Venomancer. It will just cancer down your lanes. They do take out the mid tier 1. So Treant will head to the bot lane to get some levels and experience against the Jakiro. So Jakiro just had this lane for himself for a bit. He's managed to hit level 5. It looks like a Razor rotated into the jungle as well as towards the rune. And he'll look like he'll make another play onto Witch Doctor, and that's another death from the Witch Doctor. It's 3 deaths now. Poor Innocence. Razor will pop his ult and just run in right now, and VG.J is looking very strong right now, and unlike last game, Wings' draft is not really suited to just take these amazing fights and come back. They have a more team-oriented draft. I would say they kind of need that advantage. They need to have farm on the Mirana as well as OD to start doing something. As OD is way behind. It looks like a fight started bot. They used Epicenter and want to replay, see what actually happened. I was busy talking. So VG.J go for a push on the bot lane with the Venomancer as well as the Jakiro. So Epicenter will be used on Razor and they will manage to take him down with the Witch Doctor ult as well. But Faithband will trade his life for it. Shadow does TP into the bot lane to try to help, but he's in trouble himself. And as I said, this OG needs time to farm. It's not like Storm Spirit who can really just flash farm and stay safe. OD is quite susceptible while he is farming because he does need to use his Astral Imprisonment on the creeps. And if he gets himself caught out with Astral, as he saw in the mid lane, he almost went down. So Razor will start running towards the Treant mid and try to get a kill here. He does steal a ton of his damage, but Faithband will TP to the mid lane and stun him up, but he doesn't really fucking care as he's just running forward. He doesn't even have any teammates nearby, he's just a man. That's Razor for you. The rest of his team, I think, is still healing up. Jakiro looks like he's building into a Vlad's. While Juggernaut has just been farming up this top lane. It's been relatively quiet for him. And while his team was just pushing up this bot lane, they do get the tier 1 bot. Another play is going to be made onto the Razor, and this time it will actually fall. As Witch Doctor Ultimate will also be committed, as well as Maledict. And level 4 Maledict, that's a lot of damage. So, even though he was able to play a bit cocky here, he kind of gets himself caught, and with the Witch Doctor rotation, he will fall. So that's revenge from Innocence. With all 4 of his deaths so far, I'm pretty sure being somehow a result of Razor, either directly or indirectly. It looks like Jakiro will get a kill on Sand King top. He managed to get caught out somehow. So he only had Blink. I guess he got lifted or something. Yep, I believe he got lifted, and that's just a quick death for him. And the tower as well. And with this living armor, it's not going to help them against Jakiro. It almost immediately burns to the living armor. So even though it was pretty smart-ish Treant pickup, because Jakiro kind of like slowly picks down your towers, and if he's able to heal it up, like not directly, like during a push, that would be fine for him. But it looks like VG.J is committing for the pushes. They're not really trying to poke. And Sand King will go in for a double stun. He doesn't have a DD himself. And Witch Doctor will also be used as well, and RUTK will fall. So they kind of committed a little bit too much right there, and they ate a stun from Sand King. And they managed to get punished by it, so with a nice Witch Doctor ult. Nice stun by Rubik, dodging that arrow. So OD will go for the Midas. As I said, he definitely is going to need his farm this game to start catching up. And he'll go Midas to find just that. But that's going to put him a bit further behind even before he's in fighting shape. It looks like VG.J's heroes are still posturing up this top lane. Jakiro is probably going for Vlad's actually, so they're playing this game very early game oriented, almost the same as last game, but they definitely have, I would say, the better heroes for it. As Wings heroes are a little less team fight oriented, they really want to get their farm up. It's not like they had the Life Stealer combo or anything like that. They don't have a big ult like Silencer as well. They have their damage, but it's not the same as the last pick. There's no like wombo combo this game. They just need to get farmed up on the OD, and where the heck is that coming from? Alright, Dota Pit. My Dota Pit stream started playing nice music. Alright, haha. But as I said, see that's the power of the Treant. They're able to farm up this tower. So if they don't get the tower in one go, They're able to heal it up, but the Treant armor is not going to help during the push, as the liquid fire will just burn through it, and Razor will just run in here. He doesn't really care, as the drums is pretty tanky, but Juggernaut as well as Rubik will eat that epicenter, but I believe Rubik does have a value point in his... No, he actually does not have a value point in no field, so that'll do full damage to him. Well, he'll have basic resist, but that's it. But they actually not managed to take anyone down, and that's the power of Juggernaut against Sand King. Even though he's able to dish out that massive AoE damage with the healing ward, they're going to be able to heal right up and take that tower, as well as finish off Shadow on the Mirana. Looks like Treant will be going into that Aghanims. But he's not going to have time to finish it up, as VG.J is going straight high ground. Even though Feetbian is hitting amazing stuns, his team just does not simply have the follow-up damage for it. As Jakiro is very hard to kill. He's not actually going mech, he's going... I mean, he's going mech, not Vlad's. This is a casual Ring of Basilius. They do manage to pick off the Razor and kill him, but I believe they did utilize a buyback on the Treant Protector. OD will fall, and Rubik will fall, and Jakiro will fall. Chug will manage to TP himself out, and it turned out to be a very decent engagement for Wings. They did have to use a Treant buyback, and they do lose their OD, but they get 4 kills for it. Juggernaut does barely get out there with a spin TP. His spin does run out at the very end, but they did not have a stun to catch him out. So Shadow is nowhere really near his Aghanims. See, the difference between this game and last game is they were in fighting shape on Wings a lot earlier, but right now they kind of need this Aghanims on Mirana before it becomes really relevant. And even then, once VG.J becomes capable of surviving Wings' burst, other than OD, there's nothing they have to really worry about in terms of like just raw damage output. Everything is kind of like incremental and avoidable. So Fenrir will be bot defending. It looks like he will have, he does not have his mech yet, so he's just farming it up. They're going to slow the game down a bit. They kind of pressured this top racks a bit too early and managed to feed 4 kills for it. So they're going to take it down and slow it down a bit. Juggernauts as well as Razor are still making a play towards bot, so it looks like they want to make a bot push, while Venomancer is just still farming up. It looks like he will be going to a hood. I'm not sure if he'll be going to a full pipe, but that's a very powerful item to this game right now. They'll also have mech on the Jakiro. Once they take out this tower, he'll get even closer to it. And with the pipe up, they'll actually mitigate a ton of Wings' damage from the Mirana as well as the Sand King. Even Sanity's Eclipse. Right now, all VG.J has to focus on doing is build to survive. And once they're able to survive Wings' spells and initiation from the Sand King, they really can just take over this game with Healing Ward and Juggernaut as well as Razor. They're just able to fight more consistently as they have the heroes to dish it out, while OD really being the only one on the side of Wings that does that. So Mirana getting close to her Ags, she just needs 700 gold. OD does finish up a 4-staff, and they do definitely read this Roche play, but VG.J do read it as well, as they see Wings go missing. They definitely see the smoke coming. They do walk out for a bit, but they do go back in. But Wings does show up now, and Venomancer ult goes off as well as Treant ult. Sanity Eclipse goes down. Witch Doctor ult is flying through, and Razor should just be able to clean this up. I'm not sure if Healing Ward is up right now. He's drawing really low, but with the sustain from the Witch Doctor heal from Rubik, he's able to heal up, and they're able to clean up that fight. And as I said, if Wings isn't gonna be able to take out VG.J in the initial burst of their spells, they're just gonna get outlasted especially with the stolen Voodoo Restoration from Rubik. They're gonna earn up and heal up and just be able to take out that fight, because they definitely have the better long-lasting fighting heroes, with Juggernaut as well as Razor just being able to dish out that damage consistently throughout the entire team fight, stealing damage, as well as Plasma Field being relatively on a low cooldown, be able to cast that out and provide a decent amount of nuking to the enemy team. Same thing with Jakiro with low cooldown spells, low cost spells. It will just overall dish out more damage than Wings can take. They will hit an arrow on the Razor, but he does have his Aegis. He'll throw out a Tree Ant ult as well, and they'll lose Aegis. Fortunately, they didn't really take anything out of the Aegis, but he will respawn, so they should be able to force the high ground, as they did use a relatively big ultimate on the Tree Ant ultimate. It's going to be a 50-second on the cooldown, with Sanity Eclipse on cooldown as well. They're going to go straight for this high ground push. Juggernaut is going to spin and hit the tower. Razor will pop his ultimate to deter the enemy team from coming anywhere near him. Sand King will pop his ultimate, but they did catch one of it and back away, and he only hits it on the Venomancer, and Venomancer has a Hood of Defiance, so he should be able to tank that up right well with 1 point and no field from Rubik. So Epicenter down, Sanity's Eclipse down, as well as Tree and Ultimate. They're just going to run up the high ground. A nice Ice Path by the Chiro hits 2. They're going to fall. And Faith BN and Innocence will fall, but they actually don't have vision, so they can't finish off Faith BN. Innocence will buy back. Juggernaut will drop a healing ward, and they'll heal up. They're actually at full HP, so it's a bit early drop for the healing ward. They're just going to make sure it doesn't die right now, and they shouldn't be able to get taken out at all, especially with this healing ward alive. All the big ultimates were used on the side of Wings, but they are cooling down on Sanity's Eclipse, as well as they have Witch Doctor ultimate. So they may be able to pick a fight, but nope. Instead, VG.J is just going to smack on the racks and take it out. Casket bouncing through, as well as Juggernaut spin. They're going to be able to take out OD as well as Innocence, and that's a dieback from the Witch Doctor. Razor is just running right in. He's running a rampant as he's going this Sanji Yasha build. He has Drums Yasha right now, and he's just super fast and super hard to deal with, as they have relatively decent amount of single target spells, and when they use it on him, they're just making it harder for them to run away. So they might slow him down, but they're also slowing themselves down against his unstable current. It's just this Mirana Ags, even though coming out at a relatively decent time, actually this is pretty slow at the 23-minute mark. So relatively slow Ags on him, it's not going to do too much, as sure he's going to nuke everyone on their team, but with Healing Ward they're just going to not care about it at all. He gets bursted down and Mirana will fall. Just a nice steal from Burrow Strike on Rubik, and that's the power of Rubik against Sand King. If you get Burrow Strike, it's super valuable for your team. Able to set up kills for your team with Lift and Burrow Strike with 2 instant disables. That's just super scary on the Rubik. And once he gets Blink Dagger as well, it's just going to enhance his ability to catch out enemy heroes. And yep, he'll pick it up right here in base, and he actually sells it. Not sure what he's doing. He buys a pipe. So they have 2 pipes. This is very common for teams to do this when they realize that the enemy's damage output is completely magical, or mostly magical, right? I mean, it's Witch Doctor providing some physical damage from his ult, but it's really incremental, and with Healing Ward and even just the regen from the pipe, it allows them to be super tanky. And they realize the only way they're going to lose a team fight right now is if they just eat amazing Sanity's Eclipse and freaking Epicenter on like all their heroes, as well as Mirana jumping in with her Starstorms. And with 2 pipes, they're really going to prevent that, and they're able to protect their creep waves as well from the enemy nukes, and they're just going to secure the game. It's just a game-winning pickup, right? You really just go to finish out the game, and since Wings is not ready to call GG yet, you just pick up that pipe and finish off the game. He's not going to need that blink. They just want something to tank up and just clear the game. If you watch like some of the NP Battle Cup games, you see them go like weird builds like this. When they know they already won, they just want to buy an item that allows them to actually kill the throne. And that's just what VG.J will be going for with the pipe on Rubik.
Radiant's
Two
middle
pipes,
tower is getting
mech
fortified.
as well as the Vlads. They're in tip-top shape to end this game. Juggernaut will pick up Diffusal Blade. I believe he went into Yasha into Battle Fear, and now he has the Diffusal. So he's pretty scary right now on the Jug. The Razor finishes off his Sajin Yasha as well as a BKB. So this game definitely looks over. Wings will decide to fight it out to the very end, but very unlikely they're going to be able to come back into this one with the items on the side of VG.J. As you see, Epicenter comes out and no one is taking damage at all. And Faith Band will call GG. Omni Slash jumping through. They'll still fight it out to the very end, but their Ancient will explode. So VG.J will manage to take up the second game in the series. I believe this was just a best of two. So they played it similarly to the last game where they got a lot done in the early game, but this time they had a better draft to transition it so that they can keep their advantage and really finish off the game. They picked a lot more pushing heroes, a lot more sieging heroes. Last game they did have an Ursa that allowed them to win their bot lane, but Ursa does not do too much in the terms of pushing towers and taking objectives other than Roshan. I guess he can if they go for the Vanguard Desolator build that Aoi seems to favor, but since they didn't, he went for more like a teamfight build with like a Yasha, Blank, Mask of Madness. They kind of just got caught out in a couple of fights and fed their lead away, but this game with Venomancer as well as Jakiro and Juggernauts and with those heroes able to really secure their early game advantage, transition it into towers, Roshan as well, and with that they're able to finish off this game in a very quick fashion. So well played by VG.J beating the TI champions. Of course, this is an ROTK team. He definitely has the experience. They definitely, though they lost the first game, they were able to kind of come back for this one and finish off in just 25 minutes. Wings Gaming definitely going for a more experimental draft. Really weird with that jungle Treant pickup. Didn't do too much for them. Kind of delayed the tower pushes a bit, but VG.J did definitely fully commit to the towers because they knew that if they kind of just poked down the tower, it was going to be healed up by Treant. So they went full commit, and it paid out for them. As Razor just got a bit too powerful, they weren't able to take him out in fights, and he just became this front line monster as he was just stealing people's damage, dealing out damage, and taking it to Wings Gaming. Overall, if you look at Wings' draft, you see that the Marauder didn't really pay off too well for them. They were able to get a couple kills in the early game, but they also fed some back to Razor. And even though OD was able to find his farm up, the synergy in their draft just really wasn't there. It looks like they're just going for something a little bit weird, and they get punished by a classic ROTK push strat. TI4 Finals has anything to say about that. He's definitely they're definitely proficient in that. At least RTK is, and he's probably one of the captains of this team. So they get a very quick victory here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this one. Looks like Wings so far is a pretty strong team. This game that they lost, it looks like they were kind of going something for a little wonky, and it just didn't work out. So I'll have to watch more games, go over more replays to see how Wings play. I'll also go over more of the Boston Major qualified teams as well. Looks right now there's a lot of strong teams at Boston Major, and some teams don't look like they'll do too well. In particular, Warriors Gaming, Unity being their first LAN as big LAN, as well as Adfinum. They might pull off upsets or two, but it looks like they're definitely the underdogs at that event, being relatively unexperienced as well as not really being known to be some of the best teams out there. But they did manage to qualify in their regional qualifiers, so props out to them. But there's some tough competition out there with teams like EG being TI winning teams, as well as Wings, DC, and another strong team I say would be Newbie as well. They looked very strong at MDL. They don't look so strong recently against when they played against other Chinese teams, but I'm sure they're definitely scary as they have 9K players and no Miracle, but I don't even think Miracle is 9K anymore, so these 9K Chinese people are coming for his spot as the true 9Ks. Oh, well, enough of that. See you guys next time. There's going to be more content coming soon, more TI or more Boston Major qualified teams, Boston Major invited teams. Gonna do a little bit of scouting before the event, seeing what information we can pull from what they're doing so far. There's probably a lot subject to change as when a major happens, the meta kind of shifts around the tournament itself. That happens with any big LAN, but we're definitely going to see where teams stand right now when they're playing in their regional tournaments as well as qualifiers to other LANs or so forth. But that's going to be it for this one. See you guys later. Peace.